Can a bodybuilder sue a bodybuilding news outlet for expressing an opinion? Welcome back to another edition of This Week in Bodybuilding, brought to you courtesy of TitanMedicalCenter.com for amazing therapies like TRT, Nectar of the Gods, Titan Complete, and so much more, like the ACA Plus Stack, Glutathione, anti-aging, libido enhancers. I mean, they just got it all at TitanMedicalCenter.com. So, look, I know that a lot of you are going to be like, well, Titan sponsors RX and Titan sponsors Strength Addict, so therefore I'm going to have a biased opinion. But I'm not, guys. I'm not, because I'm also an attorney, and I've also seen a lot of these cases, over the years in bodybuilding. And, look, it would set a horrible precedent, number one, if Hadi, proceeded with such an action. It's one thing to, speculate. It's one thing to let emotions run high. It's even another thing to maybe send a cease and desist letter. But to actually, embark on a journey like this, where damages are highly, highly speculative, he's not going to lose his sponsorships. Hani's not going to be like, oh my God, the people are saying that you're, gymming up your delts. I'm going to stop sponsoring. That's not going to happen. It's not going to affect the scorecards at the Olympia. I think that Dave is free to have whatever opinion he wants, or John, or Jimmy the Bull, whoever else is on there. But I do empathize with Hadi in the sense that, it's one thing to express an opinion, it's another thing to assert a fact. If you're asserting a fact, if you're saying, I know for a fact that competitor X is gymming up, syntholing, whatever you want to use. Aceto is like, I never said synthol, I said gymming up. But, Nick Trigilli correctly pointed out, you're going to jimmy it up, you're going to bobby it up, whatever term you're going to use, you're going to do something to it. And we all know what Aceto was saying, even though Aceto may, try to like backtrack a little, because he don't want to get sued, even though Hadi will probably not win. You know what I mean? When you get sued, you have got to get a lawyer, and they cost money. And even if you, successfully defend yourself from a defamation lawsuit, you're still going to have to owe all that, attorney fees, unless the court, orders, attorney fees to go to you. A lot of times these cases probably wouldn't even make it through the whole court process, but, it's just a pain in the neck, guys. It's a real pain in the neck to have to go through. It's a bunch of pleadings, it's a bunch of like different court dates, it's a bunch of paper, it's a bunch of hours, expenses. It's just so taxing. That's what I'm saying. Even if Hadi didn't win, or even if Hadi didn't like carry out the case through all the motions, literally speaking, it'd just be a real pain in the butt. You know what I mean? And I just think that it would set a really bad precedent. Now, if Hadi was in a position where he was losing contracts, and again, guys, it goes back to defamation. Like, what exactly, how is a bodybuilding outlet defaming a bodybuilder? If they said, oh, this guy likes to beat up little old ladies for fun, or, this guy's a thief, or, this guy's like, that would, harm his reputation. That would change how people look at him in the industry and in everyday life. But to say that, the physique he's built isn't muscle or whatever, it's off color. It may not be factually based, and yes, it may defame him, but it's not. He's not going to be able to like say, look, I lost this, this, and this, and it's just. I don't like the idea of it at all. It's different if someone was being harassed. I'm gonna beat you up. When I see you, this and that, or it's a different thing if maybe it was like something that was egregious in terms of their honesty and good character and that sort of thing. I don't like this. I don't like this. I know. I don't want to make the whole video about this, but that is what the whole video is about. It's about the very dangerous precedent of competitors suing news outlets for whether expressing an opinion or asserting a fact or everything in between. It's not a good place to be. And if he were to win the Olympia, which is a very, very good chance that he will. I mean, last year he took, what did he take last year? 4th place, and the year before that I think he was 3rd. He's a very, very dangerous competitor. This is someone who basically outgrew the 212 and is very much feared. Can stand up next to William Bonac, Big Ramy, Brandon Curry, Willie Winkler. he can stand next to all of them. You know what I mean? And he's very dangerous. He's very dense. He's very conditioned. He's a very good poser. He likes being up there. He likes the audience just like going nuts. He likes that. He's an entertainer. And let's face it, he's got, you know, Hanny Rambod behind him who, my gosh, you know, Phil Heath, Jay Cutler, I mean, you just name it. This is a man who knows how to turn pros and knows how to get people to win the biggest and baddest show in the sport of bodybuilding. So, you know, to me, look, Ivagen is not going to leave Hani, no, of course not, he's the owner. Ivagen is not going to leave Hadi over anything Dave Palumbo says. And I think it's also, look, guys, it's RX Muscle, and, you know, Titan sponsors RX. You know, I'm going to say good things about RX because of that as well. I mean, look, my sponsor is their sponsor, so it doesn't behoove me to, you know, tear down RX Muscle. But I will say that, you know, I worked for RX. I wrote many articles. I wrote 80 episodes of Muscle in the Morning. Dave gave me my first big break, and I will tell you that Dave likes to stir the pot. Dave likes controversy. Dave likes to, you know, piss people off. But at the same time, Dave will give you a platform to, you know, defend yourself, which is good. Not all media outlets do that, so you got to give credit where credit is due. But look, it's also the nature of the show. You know, you got Romano in there. You got, I don't know, like Mr. G, Greg Valentino. They're just shooting the shit. You know what I mean? So I just don't think, and I don't even know what show it was, honestly, because I don't watch RX, and it's nothing against RX. I also don't watch MD that much. I don't watch Generation 9. I'm way too busy to be doing that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, it's guys talking bodybuilding. You know what I mean? It's not like we got to kind of get a grip here a little bit. And I understand that the Olympia is very close, and I understand that, you know, Hadi's right on the cusp where, you know, and it's not all in his mind. I mean, he could truly win this competition. And I know he doesn't want anything to compromise that, and I know he doesn't want any drama towards the end, but I think one of the best guarantees for there not to be drama is for him to remove himself from any situations, I don't know, like hypothetically, suing a bodybuilding news outlet unless that bodybuilding news outlet essentially backs off. That's not a good precedent. And I hope that Hani can, you know, talk to Hadi and say, look, you know, this is not a good look for you. You cannot go after the outlets like this because at the end of the day, the outlets have incredible influence in the sport. And if you're perceived as someone who is sue happy, and essentially a sue maven, because you can't accept criticism. And guys, you know, people have been accused of SEO use much more directly than Hadi was by Aceto. I mean, they have been point blank said, you're using SEOs, you're using PMMA, you're you know, and they have not, you know, threatened lawsuits. So I just think Hadi let his emotions get the best of him, and I don't like the precedent if he does in fact carry through with this. I don't think it'll help his image. I think his image has already been compromised by the fact that he resorted to threatening a lawsuit. So hopefully this is in the past, in the background there, and I would love to see Hadi jump there on RX Muscle with Dave Palumbo, you know, have a great interview and defend himself. Dave will give him the platform. Dave's that kind of guy. He'll give him the platform. And look, even if Hadi can prove, which, you know, he believes he can, if he can prove, I don't know, show CTs or MRIs, or I don't know what he's going to do to show that he doesn't have anything in there but hardcore Iranian muscle. But, you know, if he can show that, I bet you Dave's the first one to say, hey, you know, like, you know, for me and RX Muscle, we recognize that, you know, Hadi is 100% Iranian steel. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching This Week in Bodybuilding, brought to you courtesy of TitanMedicalCenter.com. Be sure to go to TitanMedicalCenter.com for all your hormone therapies, the new ECA Plus stack, anti-aging, libido-enhancing, medical weight loss, and so much more. This is Christian Duke signing out.